Hey everybody, this is Jamie Pate and welcome. You are in the midst of another installment of this die cut mini-series here on my channel. I'm taking holiday dies from Sizzix and Tim Holtz and just kind of chatting about them and sharing some ideas with you. I want to thank ScrapbookCom for sending me these dies, and just to let you know too, though, that everything I'm sharing with you, it's my comments and it's my opinions. I'm just going to tell you what I think and share that with you here today. So are you ready? Let's get started. All right, in our fourth and probably final segment of this die cut mini series, I have here brand new Sizzix Tim Holtz framed tags. I'm holding this tag out because it does not fit in the package. It is so tall. So let's talk about these tags for a moment. The set comes with 6 dies, 3 tags, and then each of the tags has a different hole reinforcer, if you will. That's what I want to say. Got a large one, got the next medium, and then just a little more of a tab kind of a shape there. Then you have the 3 tag dies. Now what's special about these is you can see there that there is an emboss element to it. And so before I show you that, let's just talk about how tall these are. This is about 6 1/4, and then we are at about 3 1/4. So that's a nice size tag, isn't it? This medium tag is about 4 3/4 tall, and then let's see, about 2 1/2 wide. And this is a great size here. I just like all the sizes actually. They each have little unique elements to them. That's almost 3 1/2 long and 1 3/4 wide. So that's the dimensions of the 3 tags. Okay, so now for that emboss part, let me share with you. I have embossed, this is the medium tag here. I have embossed and die cut all in one time the tag, and so you can see it has this kind of, like it's called a frame tag. It has this frame tag element here all around the edge, and so that is beautiful all in and of itself. Then I have also done it here. This is a cardstock from ScrapbookCom's Christmas paper, and you can see that it's also beautiful on the colored cardstock. So now the really unique thing about the die is that you can actually ink it up and then apply that to the process of the die cutting. Now, here's the caveat here. Tim Holtz has unpacked this whole idea a couple months ago on his YouTube channel. I believe it was Sizzix Chapter 3. And he does a tutorial for how to do the inking on that tag. I am going to share some of that with you here today, but this is not original. I studied that video first, and that's right. And that's why all that's out there, right? We have all this knowledge and all the input from all these amazing creators to help us make beautiful stuff. And so I just wanted to give that little caveat there. So what I'm going to do, and again, this is following his instructions. I'm just going to move my die cutting machine out of the way for a moment. I have here, all right, on my work surface, I am using the double stick craft mat from ScrapbookCom. And the reason for that is because while inking up the die, you don't want it to move. And that's exactly what this mat provides for you. It provides a non-moving situation. Tim Holtz suggests using archival ink because it's an alcohol-based permanent ink on the die. So I'm going to do that. I have grabbed here hickory smoke, and I have an older brayer. So his suggestion is to ink up your brayer and then to sort of, instead of going back and forth like this, to roll it into the ink. That way, and it makes sense. It makes complete sense. It's covering all the, I can't say sides, it's a roller, but it's covering all of the roller. And so that's just a great way to make sure you have a good amount of ink. And then the next thing you do is, and because we're on our nonstick mat, this is not going to move, but you ink up the dye. And the idea is that the ink is going to basically just hit the raised portion of the dye. So that's done. Now he gives some more information in his video about clean the dye first with alcohol, get off any residue that might be in there and might hinder the dye from taking the ink. So I'm going to go ahead and set this on my die cutting platform. The other suggestion is to use a pick to pick this up, which I'm going to do here. You can kind of see there how it kind of stuck a little bit, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to set that on there, and I'm going to, I have watercolor, this is distressed watercolor paper. I'm going to then place that right on top, because I want the, and it's going to be the smooth side. I'm also going to grab, you know what, I didn't want to do this way. So we're going to come back here. Okay, so I have a distressed piece of watercolor paper, and you're going to see here, I'm going to, actually what I'm going to do first is I want to put this on the cutting pad first. Then I am going to grab the die. You can see how it's sticking to the mat, which is super cool. And you don't want to touch, obviously, the inked portion, so that's why I'm only touching the outside of this. I'm going to set this down as gingerly as possible on my watercolor paper. What I want to do next is I'm grabbing my mint tape, and I just want to tape it in place so that I don't accidentally move it, because knowing me, I will move it. So I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to run it through my Sizzix machine. In the meantime, I'm going to clean up my craft space, and then I'll show you how this turns out. Okay then, let's see how this turns out. I'm gonna go ahead and just pull everything up. I'm gonna go ahead and pull, well, actually it just kind of came apart. So let's see, I just pull my tape up. All right, okay, this is how mine turned out. I have a little bit of inkage in places. It's not terrible. It's not how Tim's turned out, and that's okay, because I'm just gonna keep on playing with this whole idea. I did one earlier that I want to show you. I did it in the Evergreen Bow. That is also an archival ink. I just happened to have it. And so beautiful color with the ScrapbookCom Christmas pattern paper. And so I thought, of course, you know, grabbing the poinsettia again, here's a whole card front. Oops, I should put it in the screen. Here's a whole card front idea for you. And then maybe one of the bold text here. I thought that was really pretty. And it's a fun project to put together. And if you've watched my video series, you've seen the poinsettia come together and some of my thoughts on that. And you've seen some other backgrounds happen. I just grabbed the pattern paper, this plaid pattern from ScrapbookCom's pattern Christmas paper, and I just think that's lovely. It needs definitely a bow and it needs a sentiment, but it's just a fun way to add some color and kind of get yourself that vintagey sort of tag look. And again, just by way of reminder, I also don't mind it at all in just the white embossed or the colored cardstock as well. So that's a look at the framed tags, and I will link all the rest of the videos that I have worked on with these brand new dies from Sizzix and Tim Holtz. If you have any questions, if you'd like to see something else, I'd love to hear from you. So drop me a comment in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.